Welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you are returning. I know, this isn't normal. Especially if you have been a subscriber of my channel for a significant amount of time. When I relaunched Beauty Heathen as a healing phoenix, I had said early on that I would be using this platform as a method of me speaking my truth in a way I felt safe to do so. For anyone watching this video or watching any of my content for the first time, you may be wondering why on earth I have a mask on like this. Well, I don't live in a very good situation. In fact, one might even say that it is somewhat harmful. So, in order to keep myself safe and simultaneously do what I feel intuitively guided to do, I feel that this is necessary, at least wise, until I am able to be out of this situation for good. So I hope you'll bear with me while I look a little unusual. The masks may change over time. Right now, this is the best I could do for this one, and I figured it was kind of a good coloration, theme given the time of year. We're coming up on Samhain and Halloween, and where it is autumn, why not look the part, I guess you could say. I know I have been very hit and miss on this channel for some time, and I apologize for that. I did end up making a video regarding the documentary regarding The Biggest Loser on Netflix, but when I was done with it, I wasn't really happy with it. And a big reason for that is I just felt that the way that I was making that video wasn't true to who I am. I'm not a drama commentary channel. I'm not someone who's super skilled with editing videos like I should be to make a similar style video to a drama commentary channel. And even the script that I developed, I wasn't really happy with it. So I'll probably go over my thoughts on that documentary in another video at another time. Today is kind of this is what you can expect to see going forward, and the beginning of the type of content that I will be making going forward. I am someone who has been through a lot in life, and part of this journey in this channel isn't just in the hopes to help myself process a lot of the things that I've been through, but hoping that maybe if I'm brave enough to share a bit of the things that I have been through and continue to go through, maybe it might help somebody else. And that won't just be on a human level, it will also incorporate spiritual level, which is where I'm going to start today. The past year was extremely difficult for me. I was very vocal on my channel and community posts and everything of that nature regarding the sciatic nerve pain and the herniated disc I had encountered and was dealing with, to my emergency surgery, to all these challenges I've been encountering the past couple of years especially. And at the time I'm making this video, I'm officially a year older than the last video I made, and it was actually kind of hard for me to feel celebratory on my birthday this year, given last year on my birthday I was effectively terminated from my job because the owners sold the business. I am still employed by the company that bought them out at present. But things that I've been working on personally in recent months in preparation for when I won't have a job is I've been working on expanding my intuitive abilities and working on becoming a Reiki practitioner. Something that I hope to create a YouTube channel for and even do healings for people in person and even long distance, adding those services to my Etsy store eventually. I'm not quite there yet. Something I didn't expect to have happen through the expansion of my intuitive abilities and through my training to become a Reiki practitioner is my intuition expanding in ways it's never happened before. And I recently realized that a former friend that I had a falling out with a few years ago, we'll call her Karen. I think that's an appropriate alias for her. I'll get into details regarding things in a moment. That despite our falling out and my never having done anything to her spiritually or anyone she loved or cared about, all I'd ever hoped for her is, despite our falling out, that she and her children and her family were doing well, that she had done workings on me. And again, this is, I can't prove that she did things on me other than to say that things that I've done to undo things that were cast on me have, let's just say the change has been extremely noticeable. This is a friend that I had been, she was literally my best friend for 7 or 8 years. I considered her my sister for all intents and purposes. And we had this bond that I thought could never be broken. And unfortunately, I was wrong. And I have recently, in the past couple of years or so, come to realize that I'm neurodivergent, and I don't know if it's through genetics or because of the way my brain has developed due to extensive prolonged trauma with PTSD and CPTSD and a number of things, but part of that realization has come with the acceptance of the fact that I have been historically used by people I trusted in a variety of ways. And this particular friend was one of them. I think over the time frame that we were friends, I had either, I wouldn't say gifted, because I didn't gift her money, but I had used a substantial amount of money to my own detriment to help her. She was in a relationship that was very harmful to her and her children. And I would do things like make sure that she had food during the time she was allowed to work. I would buy formula for her baby because her significant other at the time refused to buy it for her, citing and reminding her that during her pregnancy he had actually hoped that she would fall down the stairs and she and the baby would die. I bailed her out more than once, paying her back child support for another child she had. And I did that thousands upon thousands of dollars. The last time she promised to pay me back, which obviously she's never going to do. She took a lot from me, monetarily, energetically, She even kept a box that she was supposed to send me that I had bought from a place that she was working that I can't find a substitute for. It was something unique and it was never sent to me. But over the years, I had spent between $10,000 and $20,000 making sure that she was being taken care of, that she had what she needed, making sure that she stayed out of jail for non-payment of child support. Her own sister could confirm at least one event where I was messaging her sister while I was on the phone with her because she was threatening to check out of life. And the two of us were working in tandem, her sister on the phone with the police department while I was on the phone with her, to ensure she wasn't going to do anything. And I have a feeling, I can't prove any of this, and if I were to post any proof of anything that I am saying right now, it would come at a risk of exposing her true identity, and I don't really want to do that. I am not in the mindset to dox people. I feel that it's an ugly and disgusting thing to do that causes a lot of harm, especially to innocent people who may be around those people. So I'm not going to do that. And I know this is very much like you're just going to have to take my word for it, because I don't want to expose personal information that could identify her, because I don't want to send hate to her. In fact, about a year ago, I found out her significant other had passed, and I even tried reaching out to a now former mutual friend just to ask if she and the children were okay, because I was worried about them and their well-being. Because no matter what falling out we may have had, I always hoped that she and her children would be okay. I always wanted that for them. The person I had always known her to be was not the person I ended up knowing at the time that we parted ways. There were signs that there were aspects of her personality that were very much concerning. Her own self-admittance to hating people of the Jewish faith to an extreme extent, which broke my heart as somebody who both has Jewish relatives and has people in my life who are Jewish and have known them primarily to be fantastic people aside from current events. Very kind, accepting, loving people in general. And I'm still going to be pro-Palestine, by the way, regardless, because I do not conflate Zionism with Judaism. They are two separate things. But aside from the money that I had spent to try to ensure that she would be okay and she and her kids would be taken care of in ways that her significant other was not doing, money I should have used on myself to get myself out of my own harmful situation. In the end, she and her significant other forced me to apologize for something that I didn't do at all, and that was basically the last straw. I am not a good liar. On a good day, I really suck at lying. Anybody who's in front of me, it's basically written all over my face if I were to try to lie. And one thing I'm really not good at is being pressured to take ownership of something that I know I didn't do and they knew I didn't do. because years before there had been a dinner in which a large grouping of us were at the house, and another former mutual friend of Karen and mine had said something to a roommate, someone who was living in the house, and what she said caused a verbal altercation that almost became physical. Thankfully did not, but it was put on me that I was the person who had said something, and I wasn't. It was this other person. I wasn't even looking to see what it was being accused of. I was paying attention to making sure that the children were eating and making sure that they were doing what needed to be done. All I did was hear a commotion, and I turned my head, and by the time I turned my head, I was not witness to whatever had happened. It was this other person who was sitting next to me. And one of the people who almost got in the physical altercation had it in their head that I was the person who had said that they had done something, and I wasn't. I wasn't even the person to witness it. So I'm not a shit stirrer. I'm not somebody who's going to say somebody did something if I didn't witness it myself, or if I wasn't able to identify it myself. I'm not that kind of person. I never have been. I never will be. So to be forced to apologize for saying something that I didn't do, and despite Karen and her significant other knowing that it was not me, one day when I showed up to their house on, ironically, another birthday, at least it was a weekend we were supposed to be celebrating my birthday, I was cornered and being pressured to apologize for this thing that all of us knew I didn't do. And I'm not very good at thinking on my feet, especially when I'm feeling backed into a corner. I'm not a good liar. I'm not somebody who can say, yeah, I did something when I didn't. So to have that be put on me and be pressured and to be backstabbed like that by people I trusted, by people who I thought, or someone especially who I thought would never cross my boundaries like that, to have her do that to me was a very severe betrayal for me, especially given a lot of things that I've been through in my life. I now suspect, though I cannot prove, that it's possible Karen and maybe any flying monkeys she may have been coercively attacking my channel to get it demonetized. I can't prove it, but it just seemed very weird that all of a sudden all of these videos were getting taken down and reported and everything of that nature, when beforehand they hadn't been. I almost in a way suspect that maybe she thinks that I did some sort of working to cause harm to her and her family, when I never did. I never, ever, ever crossed a line like that. Even if our friendship had ended, I would never cross a line like that, no matter how hurt I was. And I think, again, I can't prove this, it's just my intuition screaming at me that she may have it in her head that maybe some working she has done may have caused me to lose my job. Well, no, actually something I did caused me to lose my job. A working that I had done the January beforehand, which I had done a working at work to basically force upper management to treat all of the staff fairly and to pay us what we deserved and to treat us more equitably or get out of the way and let somebody else do it. Well, that's what happened. They got out of the way and let somebody else do it. That was my own fault. And the issue with my back, if she's trying to take credit for that too, let me tell you, I fell and slipped on ice several years ago. When I fell and slipped on ice, I felt my lower spine shift. And I had never been 100% since then. I knew I had gotten injured in a substantial way at the time, but I never got it checked out. I never went to a doctor. I never did anything to try to see if anything had happened. And at the time, I was significantly heavier, weight-wise. And it just seemed that as I lost weight, it gave room for that injury to fully manifest. So if she's trying to take credit for that, no. It's called I slipped and fell on ice a long time ago. And I'm not even sure that we were friends at the time when that happened, or if we were, it may have been our friendship was early on, but we were in a good position with one another. So she had nothing to do with that either. So for anyone who may be conversing with her now, or if she happens to watch this, I never did anything to you to deserve any sort of workings that you have done to me. I have undone what you did, and I know it was you because I identified you intuitively, and I was shocked. And I was heartbroken, quite honestly, to think that you would cross a line like that you would do something so ugly to me after everything that I have done for you, and you have never paid me back. Thousands upon thousands of dollars. The money I invested in herbs and oils for a candle business when you didn't do anything with it. And you still have all of those materials. The box that I spent $70 on and you never sent it to me. All of the lunches I got you because your significant other refused to let you take food when he allowed you to go to work. The formula I bought for you and your child when they needed formula. The supplements I got you to help you with your milk supply. The things that I got you that you needed or wanted simply because I cared about you and I considered you my sister and I trusted you. And in the end, you're the one who stabbed me in the back. And now I know it wasn't just once. It was more than once. I don't know what your intention may have been. I don't know if this was some sort of sick and twisted way to try to get me to come back to you or whatnot, which I don't even know how that would happen, given the fact that, as far as I know, I'm still blocked by you anyway. Yeah, she ended up blocking me after the falling out because I was outing her shenanigans and ways that she had used me in our friendship. Because if you're really friends with somebody, you don't use them like that. But that's neither here nor there. When I get out of my own situation, when things turn around for me in my life, know this. Don't ever come to me and ask me for help. No matter how my life will be, if I'm extremely successful and I am making a lot of money, don't you ever come to me and ask me for help again. Because quite honestly, I will never forgive you for this. To know that you tried to trap me in this situation because of some potential misconception that I did something to you, when I never did. And at the end of the day, the only person who caused someone harm in this scenario was you. So guys, with all of that said, I am going to end this here for today. I had to get this first video out there and some things off my chest. It won't be like this every video. I hope you take care of yourselves. You're all staying safe and healthy. To those who may have gone to the protests today, or at the time I'm recording this anyway, I hope you all stayed safe. And let's hope that the climate in this country improves, especially not just in this country, but on a global scale. All right? With all that said, bye for now.